at that point, it'll be time to put the whole front of the car back together. Get everything all locked down and dialed in, and then I'm going to try to do an alignment on it using a way that I saw on the internet, which is basically taking two flat bars and putting them on your actual drum on each side and bolting them to it where the actual the tire lugs go into, and then measuring it on both sides until you get it square, adjusting out the all of the tie rods. So we'll see how that goes. Hey guys, I'm back up out here at the shop. I started putting the front end together, did a little bit, didn't film, but I'll show you where I'm at on it. It's coming along. I'm pretty excited about it. Here, check this out. All right, so this is kind of where I am on it at this point. It's looking pretty good. All I've done is I've put the arms on the sides, and then put the steering box up there, but it's not torqued. And then I went ahead, installed the shaft that goes up through this hole that goes to your shifter, and then put the plate in there. I didn't have a rubber gasket for that, so I cut up a bicycle inner tube to put behind it, so hopefully it'll keep the moisture out. Torqued these to 36 pounds, and then these were torqued to 33. Okay, basically what you'll do is take a straight edge and you'll put between these, the top and the bottom. And then that space at the top, I'm going to measure that and determine how many millimeters that is, and that'll tell me exactly what shim setup that I need to do. So when I go over here, let me show you. Here's all the parts I've got laid out ready to rock and roll and put on this thing. Ready to get that off there and onto the pan. This manual, I think it's an old Haynes manual I'm referencing, but it'll tell you, like, for 60 and later, depending on how much the offset is, it tells you A, B, C, and D. And what that does is tells you the position on each side of the spindle that you put these shims. Now I made a mistake and didn't, when I took it apart, didn't count where what was, and you know, I'm starting from scratch, but I also don't really trust the people that actually assembled this pan. I've seen a couple things that are just kind of out of whack that shouldn't be that way. So I'm cool with trying to figure it out on my own and setting it up and feeling, you know, more confident that the camber's correct on it. That's 8. Completely flat. What the heck? It's 8.57, so that's 8.5 on that one. So that tells me that on that spindle, at 8.5, on the top, excuse me, flip this over. On the top one that I have, I'm going to have in the A position, but yeah, the B position is going to be where the cap is. So in the B position, I will have 3 shims. So 1, 2, and 3. And then the other 5 go on the inside. So basically you take the spindle, and this is going to slide this direction in there. Probably need to put some grease on this thing, but I know it's going to get greased once I get it all together. So there we go. So alright, so I got 3 to the outside And verify that I got 5 here. And I got 5 to the inside. So basically that's how you do it. You work your way all the way around, taking the reading, and then take it from there. It's going to show on the top, it's going to be 6 to the pin head side and 2 to the outside. So. Now, the O-rings go on shafts. And these O-rings, basically, this thing goes into the arm to kind of to hold the seal in place. But there's actually a ridge on the bottom edge of it there. I don't know if you can see that thing, that an O-ring seats in. So you basically have to put them on the shaft, which it actually helps because it holds the washers in place when you put this stuff on. So that's a good thing. Kind of keeps everything together. And these things have a notch on them. I don't know if you can see that notch there on that edge. And there's a notch here where your actual torsion arm has a split in it. So I just put a little bit of grease on this thing, and then I'll stick it in there and holds it in place. I'm kind of going very, very slow on this because this is actually the very first time I've ever done this. I just read the book, but it goes to show you with these little cars that you can get away with learning as you go. Alright guys, an update of kind of where I'm at on things on the beam. Here, let me turn this around. Alright, I put in a new rubber for the steering connection between the actual drive shaft and the steering. I also on this thing cleaned up all the electrical connections because we know the horn will go here. And then I left a wire in there to remind me that once I got everything connected to run a wire through all the castle nuts to make sure it stays tight. The steering box has been torqued on. The pitman arm was torqued on. Man, that was 70 pounds. I didn't expect that. Got all of the tie rods in place on here. So at this point on, I also torqued down these centers at 33 pounds. And I've got it adjusted all the way down. Oh, and I did put on all new bushings for the anti-sway bars down in here. So that should make it very, very nice and rigid for performance driving. So I'm excited about that. So the next things that I've got to do is I need to go ahead and get the actual rotors back on, get the bearings packed, get that all tightened on, and then I'll probably go ahead and put the brake calipers on and start running brake lines. All right, guys, got the calipers on, master cylinder in, and then the brake lines ran in the front. I'm upgrading the car to be a dual circuit, so it's a little safer. That way, if you have your back brakes fail, your front brakes may stop you. But yeah, just keeping on grinding on. Slowly working through this.